Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video here today, man. And this is what the 6th, 7th upload. I'm here with my boy Kenny Bomb. This is going to be a little bit different because we're going to go on ahead and collaborate for y'all on this one. We're going to talk about a couple of things that WWE 2K26 100% needs to avoid. But before we go on ahead and get into that, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and make sure to go on ahead and subscribe to my boy Kenny Bomb, where he's going to keep you updated with the greatest and latest videos when it comes down to MyFaction, Mortal Kombat, all that good stuff. So make sure you guys go on ahead and show him love. Let's go on ahead and get into it. Kenny, we went ahead and spoke earlier about some things that we thought that they could avoid. And your number one thing, it was something interesting. Go on ahead and let them know, man, what are you thinking that they need to 100% avoid this upcoming year?
You know what, Brian? I hate to be the bad guy and say it. I always try to avoid saying this because I know there are some people still hanging on for dear life, but I think they really need to avoid last-gen consoles. I'm a bit of a graphics whore myself, and I want these games to start looking better. I feel like there have been minor improvements since WWE 2K22, but I feel like if they were going to keep the game on last-gen consoles, they need to outsource it and let somebody else handle that version while they go full forward and give us a current-gen product, because people are saying in 2027 we'll see the Xbox whatever they're on and the PS6, and we still have not even seen a full-blown PS5 or Xbox Series X version for these WWE 2K games. And I think it's time for that to happen. Hair needs to look better. I think just the way the clothes move on these wrestlers' body, just all around, I think the game needs a refresh. And I think moving away from last-gen consoles would give that. So I think that's the biggest thing they need to avoid, is trying to keep things in line with last-gen consoles.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. I mean, I'll be the bad guy. I've been the bad guy for a while. I've been saying this for years now, that we need to go on ahead and get rid of last generation consoles. I hate it for people that cannot get the new consoles. I truly do. But for us to really see the changes and, again, making our purchase of these next generation or current generation consoles at this point worth it, we're going to have to see these consoles get cut out the picture. I mean, I've always mentioned different sports games that I do play, and Madden is the biggest example that comes to my mind right now, because that game actually dropped last generation consoles with this year's release of Madden 26. So we need to go on ahead and see that happen with WWE as well, because you can 100% see the graphical difference, and I think that's what I want to see as well. These games look really good over the last couple years since 22 when the refresh happened, but they could look so much better, and we've seen that with other games, and we've seen the possibilities and what can happen. So I do 100% agree with you. They need to use those resources from last generation consoles, put them into the new consoles, and give us the product that we deserve to really just be seeing from a graphical standpoint on the current generation consoles.
Right. I mean, I think we've seen them going that way right now with them not putting the island on last-gen consoles. I think that's the first step. So, I mean, we'll see if they go full-blown next year or not. But shout out to everybody who's still playing on those last-gen consoles. We love you to death, but Brian says they need to get rid of them.
Brian. but let's go on ahead and get into the next one, y'all. I think I'm going to go on ahead and dive a little bit into gameplay with this one, but the submission mini game needs to be given up on. We need a new submission mini game, and not only that, the reason why is because the casket match and the ambulance match use the same mini game, and when they try to balance something out with the submissions, it also breaks those matches as well, to the point where the casket match can get very easy or very hard. It just really depends on what they decide to tweak and do with the submission system that also hurts the rest. So me personally, I want to see the submission mini game gone, and I want to see different mini games and the different match types to really make those match types feel different and much better. Kenny, what do you think about this, man? You play MyFaction a lot, and you know that those casket matches can be hell at times. And part of that is because of this mini game that they do use.
Not just the casket matches, the submission matches as well, because you can beat your opponent down until they're as hurt as they can be. You put that opponent in a finisher, they'll still break out of it, and they'll break out of it a million times. But if they get you in their finisher one time, it's over. I mean, of course, it's the AI. They can tap it as fast as they want. They don't need to tap it. So I think it's just a way they can cheat, kind of. So I do think they need to get rid of those mini games and also the pin mini game. And they know it's cheap. That's why they took away the button mash. They're like, this one, we can kind of manipulate when they can kick out and when they can't. So I think all of the mini games all around, the ambulance match, submissions, the casket match, they're all the same. The pin system, I think they need to completely rework these things. Like, I know people say all the time they're not going to change the engine or change what this game is, but things like that I think is outdated and they really need to update those. So those mini games, I think they need to cancel Christmas on all of them.
It would be dope to see a refresh in mini games, even though I don't think we're going to see a full-on refresh, but just even like the little things, because that's what makes the game, what it is at the end of the day. If we can get some of those things changed up, and again, I think that it would feel different, and I think that the whole franchise can benefit from it personally. So I do agree with you on the pin system. Just something different, would be cool as well. And you can also leave those on the back end where if somebody prefers that one, then they can just switch back, sort of like how they have it now, So I would like to see that. Now, Kenny, what is something else that you feel that they need to avoid this upcoming year?
Brian, this is something I thought I never would say, especially a few years ago, but I think MyFaction is the best mode they have in the game right now because they keep it updated and it always gives you something to do. Previously, when I was playing these games, it's like complete my rise, do the showcase, now what? Because I was avoiding my the showcase, the MyFaction. But I think right now MyFaction just has such a bad rap because it's so predatory and, it's just so money gouging. I feel like what they need to do is avoid charging as much for things as they have done this year because, there's a way you can grind, yes, but it takes hours and hours and hours out of your day where I feel like there's really no enjoyment in doing the same match over and over and over again just to get MyFaction points. So they need to figure something out where I don't even know if they want us doing the same match over and over because when I'm doing it, it feels like I'm cheating. So I think they need a clear path for us to get MyFaction points if they are going to still make us use those. They need to lower the prices of those cards packs for the people who don't have time to spend grinding because I think there's no excuse. I think you should be able to get 10 packs, even if they're basic packs for $20. So every time they drop a pack, drop your $20, get the 10 packs. You get the cards, you get them, you don't. But I mean, just the prices they have right now, if you want to get 10 packs, I feel are absolutely ridiculous. And the time they expect you to put in to get those MyFaction points, unacceptable. So they need to avoid doing what they did this year. Like with Roman Reigns, you had to get a crazy amount of MyFaction points to just get him with the different color gloves and different color boots. And if you wanted to buy him, $100. You got to avoid stuff like that moving forward. Otherwise, people will continue to look at MyFaction as a negative mode in the game and won't even give it a chance. So if you make it better, if you make the prices better, then I'm sure people will speak to that and more people will be willing to join in to try to get those personas. So they need to try to get rid of that stench on MyFaction because I think they got something good there. They just got to stop being so greedy.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I think it needs to get better. I think that it needs to just, be better just in terms of the pricing. Like, I think the pricing is a little ridiculous.
Only problem.
Yeah, like that's what it is for me. And you guys will probably see in the video before this one, because this is dropping later on throughout this week. I made a MyFaction video talking about things that they should change and things that should be better, going into the future, because I think that there is a lot wrong with MyFaction. I think that there's a lot of good in MyFaction as well, but obviously you want a lot of things to change as well as a consumer. So I think that starting with the pricing and trying to find that balance between the company and the consumers, trying to just make it fair, I think that would be great as well. I also, pointed out in the last video as well that you are going to see, live events like right now that, give you those cards at an easier pace compared to maybe 2-3 months ago. But it would be nice to really see, again, more of a balance throughout these months, more than just, hey, you get them now and then there's just like 2 months left in the cycle. And a couple weeks from now, I don't even think people are going to be playing 25 because everyone's going to be so focused and hyped about 26 when those trailers and promotions start to drop. So again, I'm happy that they've made them affordable with the live events, but again, I think we need to try and make an effort to make that affordable when the year is actually going and the cycle is still very much alive. So just my 2 cents with that. Let's go on ahead and get into my last one. A lot of people might like this one. Some people might not. But I think that women legends need to be a priority in the DLC, season pass and all that stuff. I think that we maybe saw 2 or 3. I know we saw Bonacano. I know that we saw, was it Tori Wilson that returned back this year, right?
It was Victoria. I don't think we didn't get Tori Wilson yet.
Not Tori. You're right. I think that we need to prioritize some of that. I know that we've heard Jacqueline throughout, rumors, and she may be getting back in the game. She would be pretty awesome to see. And there should just be more of a priority. Bring me Kelly. You know what I'm saying? I think she signed some sort of deal or something like that where she may be in the game. I don't know. I would be excited to see her in the game. You're funny. But man, I would really like to see a lot of these women wrestlers get in the game. Kenny, how do you feel about that, man? Because the season DLC pass, you can say, all right, it's $30, $40, whatever it is, but I can justify it because I get a lot of content throughout the year to it. But there's some people that feel like they were slighted when it came down to the women's DLC. Do you feel that way?
Well, you know what? Growing up, women in wrestling weren't a huge priority. Unfortunately, like when I was growing up watching, it was like fulfill your fantasy matches and bra and panties matches, and they used to do mud fights and bikini contests. But some of those legends, like Sable, I would love to see Sable come back. Jackie, you mentioned, Jazz. I think they could really do something big if they did an all women's DLC pack.
Awesome.
I don't know how people would feel about it, though, because I know there's a lot of people who really want these women to be in the game. But then again, you got some people who don't like women's wrestling. So I don't know. I would rather see an all-women pack than something like we got with the WCW pack at the end, or what was it, the Saturday Night's Main Event pack. So
that pack was, and it's not their fault. It's not 2K's fault.
It was for a certain part of the audience. I get it, but yeah, it's what I don't care about.
People that are double my age, about Kenny days, really rock with that. You know what I mean?
Before my time, buddy. Relax.
But man, these are just some things that they need to avoid going into the new year, and hopefully we get a solid product. I'm very excited for 2K26. Have you guys been judging, with the content and everything? So we'll have to see what happens. But Kenny, let them know where they can find you, my boy.
You guys can find me at Kenny Bomb on YouTube. Me and Brian just put up another video on, I think that was a Tuesday I got that released. So y'all can go check out that one. We're talking about different match types we want to see in WWE 2K26. So Brian, I appreciate you having me again, sir.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me on your channel, my boy. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. If you guys have been enjoying the content, make sure to stay tuned for the next one. I'm going to catch y'all. Peace.